Hey everybody, and welcome to this weird video. After I just recently finished my Resident Evil playthrough of Resident Evil 7 and 8, which are basically the only Resident Evils I want to play, at least until 9 comes out and I try that, I was constantly reminded while editing those videos of my original, of the first-person shooter I played on my tiny channel that nobody even cares about. Right here, Half-Life. I started this back in 2020, so it's 2 years old now, which is honestly weird to think of, because it feels like I did this playthrough forever ago, but no, it was just 2020. It was before the apocalypse began, though, although it was last updated on... Oh, I think that's when I added the description of the game to my playlist and changed the titles and stuff. I used to just call this Half-Life playthrough. But yeah, I thought I'd go back, watch them again, and just... I don't know, react to them. I haven't watched them in a while, and I want to see how far I've come since then. If you check out my, full video list page, you can see it's all the way down here. This, every video down here is actually uncommentated. That's what I started doing. I started with Creeper World, man. Remember Creeper World? As well as White Day, that was a weird game. But yeah, all of these videos were all uncommentated. I don't know how I was going to ever make anything out of that. And that's back when I played Fortnite on mobile because I didn't have a good PC. But this right here is the earliest listed commentated playthrough I ever did. Right from this video onwards, all these are commentated except this, because that's ambience. But... it wasn't actually the first commentated playthrough, that would be Sonic 3. I re-uploaded Sonic 3, and for some reason, I took the first one down. I deleted it, so it's not here. So it looks like Half-Life was the first. It's not actually the first. The first was Sonic 3. We're reacting to the Half-Life playthrough, because I think that'll be more fun. There's also was a Minecraft playthrough here, but I privated those, so that's why they don't show up here. Here's Half-Life 2 as well. I played Half-Life 2. I keep forgetting I even played Half-Life 2. And then here's Terraria, which is the bulk of my channel, and then Black Mesa and all the videos I've done since. So yeah, I have played the remake of Half-Life, Black Mesa, in a kind of modernized version, which my microphone was better. But let's not waste any more time. As you can see here, I still had the same, video titling thing where I gave the episodes, cool, elegant names, except they're not as cool or elegant here. I kind of just used quotes from the game or just really boring names. But it still works. Alright, let's go in. Oh yes, I remember this. I actually gave these videos the time codes so that it would show up like this. I don't think I did this for my Black Mesa playthrough, weirdly enough. Alright, let's go.
Hey everybody, to no surprise by me, my Sonic 3 video got no attention, but here I am doing another-
And neither has any other video I've made so far, whatever. So, to give you context, this video was, this entire series, in fact, was recorded on a 13-inch MacBook Pro that I actually have right next to me. And I was also recording this with no headset, no headphones. So I had the game volume turned way down so that the game audio wouldn't echo through the speakers. And I was also recording the game in a window. I think I had the window, taking up the full screen, but the screen wasn't, a full even, there's black bars on the sides that aren't there anymore. Yeah, point is, it's terrible quality, and the frame rate was pretty choppy as well, but it was fine. It worked fine enough for me.
Other playthrough anyway, because it's just for fun. This is Half-Life, the classic 1998 first-person shooter created by Valve, which is actually Valve's first game. It started them as a gaming company.
I feel like everyone knows this.
Are the people behind Steam, so I'd say this game's pretty important for that reason alone. One weird thing right off the bat is you can click the name, and it...
I remember that.
Menu.
I still don't know what's the deal with that. You can hear me clicking the trackpad.
I'm gonna play on easy, because in my opinion, even easy is incredibly hard. And
I wouldn't say incredibly hard as in, challenging. I would say completely fucking stupid. Okay, I have not played Half-Life in a while. I think part of this video is also going to be me reacting to Half-Life. I have not played Half-Life in a while, so I don't know if I can really say say my true opinion on it. But I get the feeling that back when I could only play Half-Life and I didn't have Black Mesa, I was a little more positive on the game than I am now. Yeah, I totally appreciate everything this game did for shooters and for gaming in general because of Steam, the whole Valve created Steam thing, but at the same exact time, all I remember when I think of Half-Life is how much I hated my first playthrough. My first playthrough was absolute hell, and I never want to relive it.
Easy it is. I'm just gonna let this intro play out.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System.
And I remember this. I decided to subtitle the game because the game did not have subtitles. It was not subtitles weren't like a standard thing in games back then. So I decided to take the liberty of subtitling the whole game. But the problem is, my editing software at the time was still iMovie. Because it wasn't until Terraria episode 18 that I switched over to Shotcut, which is what I use now. Because iMovie started adding all these weird pops in the audio of the video, and it was terrible. So it sounded terrible, so that's what I changed it to. But because of that, iMovie's text editor is very limiting. It only allows you like a few certain formats, so I picked the least obnoxious looking one, which is this one. And it looks pretty cool. The problem is, though, the lengths of the subtitles changed the font size. So it's kind of jarring. Like, it just went from that small one to that big one. I think there was a way I could make them consistent, but I never bothered to do it for some reason. I've always been pretty stubborn about keeping quality of videos consistent throughout all of my playthroughs, which is why I never looked into fixing my microphone during Black Mesa, because I don't really want, like, half the playthrough to be low quality, half the playthrough to be high quality. If it's gonna be low quality, I'll just go the whole playthrough low quality, because screw it. Around here, there's like a billion door sounds, right? You could barely hear the voice. Because, like, all the doors and stuff are so loud. The sound design during this intro is the only bad thing about it, in my opinion. Everything else about the intro, even in the original, is great, but the sound design is the worst part. It's of, not for.
It drags on for a bit, quite a while, but I still love that intro. How it wordlessly shows the scale of Black Mesa.
And I agree with that.
The only thing I don't really like about it is the terrible sound design at some points.
I have the same opinion.
Like I'm gonna add subtitles in editing for all the dialogue.
Apparently, I already decided I was going to do that before I even started editing. I can't remember how I decided to add subtitles. I think I just randomly I was playing the intro and it just randomly came up in my brain and I was like, hey, why don't I add subtitles?
The doors.
Oh, yeah.
This door isn't too bad, I don't think, but this next door in here...
I said I don't think because I couldn't actually hear the door, because the volume on my end was so low, I didn't have headphones.
Is way too loud, and that's a recurring theme in this game. The doors are incredibly loud.
I still agree with that.
Yeah, like, hear that? It's very loud. If I had this at normal volume, my ears would be falling apart. Anyway.
Okay, it's not that bad, it's just... but still, it's extremely loud.
These guys barely do anything. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest.
I mean... I say that only because I actually saw Black Mesa before Half-Life. And I was expecting Half-Life to be a little more like Black Mesa, which is absolutely unreasonable expectations. I will admit some of my, like, mild dislike of this game kind of comes from the fact that I saw Black Mesa before I saw Half-Life. Black Mesa and Half-Life 2. Still, though, I think a lot of my complaints with this game are mostly justified.
I always like to walk around and take a look at all the stuff.
My main complaint, by the way, is how easily you die. And how frequently you can die. There were so many points in the game where you just die over and over again with, like, little to no say in survival. And there are some moments like that in Black Mesa as well, like 1 or 2, but that's it. And then there's also so many scripted sequences that if you don't know what happens, you just get killed out of nowhere. That's annoying.
Spend time before...
Here I was throwing off the scientists with the three same lines that they say when you walk up to them.
Man, I actually saw footage of Black Mesa before I saw or even played Half-Life.
Wow! Wow, that's twice now!
So, when I saw...
That scientist just said Freeman without even looking at him. He's just like, yeah, it's Freeman. Probably because he's sprinting in here.
Like, all this...
He said I must remember to report that fluctuation, but while I was editing, I still didn't have headphones on, even while editing, so I misheard it as situation.
I cooked it very nicely. Look at that. That's how it's supposed to be.
Wow, funny joke.
I'm sorry if I'm incoherent sometimes. I can't really form sentences, like, off the top of my head. So
Even now, sometimes I can't.
Perfectly acceptable, you know. We all have to wear these
So weird.
I remember subtitling that just because I thought it was special. And hey, that's fitting because the scientist in Black Mesa in that room says that line as a scripted thing.
Be Alex Vance from Half-Life 2, or so I've...
I love how I remember that it was Alex Vance here, but when I played Black Mesa, I forgot it was supposed to be Alex Vance.
That is a mug with some writing on it. And this is a...
That mug looks like a newspaper. That mug looks like it's made of cardboard.
something. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I still don't know what
that's
it's...
supposed to be. Looks like a costume bag, but still a little neat detail in this 1998 game. Alright.
You know, I think the vibe I'm getting is that, like, my speech pattern nowadays is mostly the same. It's my tone that's changed, and I think most of that change happened during my Terraria playthrough, where at the beginning I sounded kind of bored, like a little bored, and not as confident as I do now. That's one of the cool aspects of my Terraria playthrough, though, along with the growth of my in-game character, the growth of my confidence in my tone, and all that. But yeah, like, my speech is still mostly the same. Sometimes I can't think of words to say. Sometimes I look at a thing, a point, and it says, this is a thing, and then I move on in absolute silence.
Now,
But at least I'm more enthusiastic about it.
I thought this was called a hev suit for some reason. It's HEV suit.
Hey, I mentioned that in the Black Mesa playthrough too. Man, these series just go hand in hand, I guess. I remember, I tried to do this, theme where whichever font I chose for the subtitles, this regular version would be female voices, and then I would bold the font for male voices. Thing is, though, it rarely ever came up because the vast majority of characters in Half-Life are male. The only things are, like, the train voice at the start and the HEV suit. Like, that's it. As well as, like, Dr. someone. I can't remember what her name is, like, is it Dr. Cross? In the training,
You just put it on and it gets a little
in the tutorial thing. Yeah, I remember thinking that the transition was missing in Half-Life 2 as well, in the Black Mesa playthrough.
Like 800 decibels.
I believe also
Alright.
hold on. I believe I also, never turned up the volume for cutscenes, because I guess I was listening to them and I was like, yeah, that sounds loud enough. So I just kept the volume the same, but it doesn't, like, work. Somehow it just doesn't work as well when I go silent and not have the volume go up. It just feels weird. It just feels like I'm going silent for nothing. So I'm glad that I turned the volume up now. It's a little, helps a little for that. Oh, I remember. When I was editing that, I could not hear every word he said. I can actually hear it now wearing headphones. I could not hear every word the voice said, so I had to look up the intercom voice lines and then find the one that had the same words, the same few words that I could make out. And then I put that as the subtitle, assuming that that's what it said.
I probably won't be able to hear that. I don't know if I'll be able to sub that in editing. Anyway.
Speaking of which.
I just want to ask this. Do these actually say anything other than
No.
technology or working as a team?
Jeez, when I got loud back then, it sounded so much less, less good in some way. I don't know how it sounds worse on that old microphone, that old built-in computer microphone, but it just did.
Because I don't know, let's try to read it. Yeah, I can't fucking read it. I don't...
And sometimes also, the subtitles are, like, slightly delayed to appear because of the weird transition iMovie forces onto you. I would have used iMovie's basic title. The problem is, if you do that, the text is all caps, and you can't change it without doing some weird, like, exploity thing that I couldn't figure out. So I had to pick one of the other... I had to pick one of the other title types, so I chose the less obnoxious one. Greetings at the same time as something explodes across the room. Yes, subtly coloring that text brown because that's supposed to be Eli Vance right there, even though he's not an established character yet.
Wouldn't this be a sign that, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this test? Just a thought. Just a little thought. Maybe we shouldn't do this test.
That sounds similar to a comment I'd make now. Maybe I haven't changed that much after all.
Why aren't the buttons in here? So you don't have risk of your arm being sliced off by the elevator in the wall.
Is that the same way in Black Mesa too? I can't remember. No, I think the elevator buttons are actually inside the cabin
Right, so in case you
in
missed
Black
it
Mesa.
in the intro, it was text on screen. It's kind of hard to miss. We are Gordon Freeman. We're working at this facility as like a research associate, helping research. We're not actually...
In Black Mesa, I just let this up for interpretation, hoping you'd understand.
Procedures today, Gordon.
Oh, I remember. These two, like, they never looked at me. They never look at you consistently. They just stand there.
The most unstable.
The random big subtitle. You know, actually, never mind. They are actually looking at each other a little more, but most of the time that I watch this scene in my other playthroughs,
Hey, at least look at me when you say that.
they don't even look at each other. They don't,
Yes, I
like,
sure am one of
feel
those
like
highly
people
trained
talking.
professionals.
Now, despite what I might be about to say about the game in the next few, like, minutes, I still think this scene is very well done. Obviously less, like, tension in the sound design and stuff than Black Mesa, but that's obvious. Once again, I'm not increasing the volume of these cutscenes, like, it feels weird. And also you can hear my computer fan the whole time.
Well, why
Shit.
don't we just push it on in there then? What could possibly go wrong?
I was going to talk, but then younger me talked. Yeah, that scene is still definitely well done.
This is supposed to happen. I was told before I entered this job that when I slot the crystal into the thing, then a bunch of green explosions would happen.
Ah, you're so funny.
This is normal.
Hilarious. To be honest, that's not far off from the humor I express nowadays, but still, shush. Ah, this room of Zen that isn't used when you re-enter Zen. This is a cool part though, just being placed in front of
I did this in
Vortigods.
training. Besides experiencing multiple Keter and nuclear level containment breaches, full site lockdown initiated.
Huh. Foreshadowing.
I see a resonance cascade, let alone create one. Gordon, you're alive.
My sister thinks that line is funny, and I don't know why she thinks it's funny. Because it's not supposed to be funny. I don't know, I guess just Half-Life Scientist has that goofy comedy vibe to it, but it's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be like a tragic line for this absolute disaster that just happened.
Phones are out. Please get to the surface as soon as you can and let someone know we're stranded down here.
And let someone know that my subtitles have shrank for some reason. I think that his like sending up to the surface speech has a ton more weight in Black Mesa, but again, I mean, you get the drill by this point. I think Black Mesa's a better game. Okay, I thought the head crab flew out of the chamber.
Alright, so once this beam stops zapping the wall...
I sound so bored. Maybe that's because I knew I was about to sign myself up for another playthrough of Half-Life.
Retrace their steps.
I don't think
while the
Half-Life is
entire
boring, I
facility
just think it's
broken down.
frustrating.
I like this idea. You go through a peaceful sci-fi setting, and then all of a sudden, it's placed under shit.
Yep, I agree with that, and I think that it is executed significantly better in Black Mesa, but it's still executed very well in
It's also a
Half-Life.
melee weapon for this game. Pay attention to the sign just for future reference.
I think I was going to remake that joke in Black Mesa, and then I forgot to. Oh man. Those zombie sounds. Oh my god, that weird janky jibbing you could do with the crowbar. I forgot about that. That was clearly not working
Maybe
right.
the thing you just killed. That's a thought.
I said that a bunch of times in Black Mesa too. Like the officers would ask, "What's that smell?" and I'd say, "The thing you just freaking killed," because they're very oblivious.
Facility we go.
Oh yeah, I didn't bother to take him along with me because
No video game can resist.
the friendly AI sucks. The enemy AI was pretty good, but the friendly AI sucks.
Not even Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my god, I just said no game franchise could resist having zombies, not even Metal Gear Solid. That was a reference to Metal Gear Survive, which I saw a couple videos of saying that it was bad at the time.
Batteries? Apparently Guthrie is real into guns. Or maybe Guthrie's the name of a security guard. Actually, that's probably it.
Sounds like something I would say nowadays. It'd be like, I would jump to a conclusion, and then I'd think of a much more logical conclusion and think, yeah, that's probably it. I do that a lot because I just skip over a line of thinking, a step of thinking sometimes. And the atmosphere is so different. Everything's so bright. Like, I hear that the graphics were originally supposed to be darker. And you can use like cheats to make them darker, but you have to use like the console on the Steam version. But yeah, it's just so weird that everything's so bright. I mean, I'm fine with the brightness, but I'm still so used to Black Mesa. Black Mesa's ambience.
I don't think Black Mesa's really enjoying their day. Right now, I don't think the Headcrab's enjoying his day either.
I don't think Black Mesa's really enjoying their day. Wow, what insightful commentary. Good job.
Just a little secret that I never discovered until a recent playthrough is that you can break that and open this door.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so obscured, this part where you go to see the scientist. It's so obscured. You have to hit the button with the crowbar. You can't interact with it normally. It's weird. I like how his first impression was to say "stay back" instead of actually trying to save himself from dying. The bridge just collapsed underneath him, and his first thought is to tell you to stay back. I mean, I guess, yeah, stay back from this freaking hole. Let me die.
I love how that guy's priority is to
and I'm about to say the exact same thing in the past.
tell you to stay back instead of to yell in the fact that he is currently falling.
Yep.
That the catwalk gave way beneath him.
Oh my god. The headcrabs are so weird in Half-Life. Like, it feels like they have Dead by Daylight level melee hit detection where they can hit you from like a mile away. That headcrab clipped through the wall. Oh yeah, and then there was this weird one hidden in the vent. Was that redone in Black Mesa? Somehow I remember that being redone in Black Mesa. I don't think it was.
Normal, right? A brain dead zombie because something jumped on my head.
God, my commentary's so bad. Like, I call myself bad at speaking now. I try to do it less because it's all a part of the confidence boost and enthusiasm boost I have. But like, it really was. I mean, this is like 2012, 2013 playthrough, this first playthrough ever material, and that's because it was. I mean, it feels like that's a common thread with every YouTuber starting out on their first playthroughs. They always sound bored. It's just always a thing. Oh yeah, this weird part. We'll get to this later. But yeah, like every YouTuber who, like even Markiplier started out sounding pretty bored, and then as they go, they get more excited sounding. And I guess that's just the natural progression, because when you're not used to just talking in an empty room while playing a game, it can be weird, and you just have to find the natural level of enthusiasm that fits you the best. You have to get more and more used to it, and now I'm more and more used to it, so here I am now. It's cool seeing that kind of progression. I will never, as long as I live, I will never take down my old videos, no matter how archaic they may be, no matter how they may get, no matter how terrible I think they might be in the future. I'm not taking them down, because sometimes I want to look back and think, like, that was my past self, and I've improved so much since then. It's a nice little document of progression. Yeah, it gives you hound eyes immediately. I guess you're expected to pick up the gun. This guy always bugs out on me, where the animation to crawl into the vent doesn't play, and so he just sits there, and a bunch of random jibs fly out, and then he vanishes. And then there's this guy, just chilling. This is why Half-Life is kind of just this on the lower end in my mind compared to other people. I'm not, like, as big a fan of it. This is part of the reason, because I see what they were trying to do. But I don't think it was executed very well, and in some of this stuff, or at least, no, maybe not executed very well, maybe executed very well for the time, but it has not aged well at all. Like, this is something that that I would absolutely point and laugh at if this was in a modern game, because this is really weird.
Perfect game, zero flaws.
Perfect game, zero flaws.
He's supposed to climb into the vent and then be eaten off screen, but for some reason, he always stays outside of it for me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the Steam version or what.
The Steam version has a few bugs. Like, I think the view roll, the tipping from side to side when you strafe, is gone. All right, I'm going to skip these next few bits. We're just going to move right on. Ooh, let's check out these old sewers. Oh, man. This might not be the exact correct original lighting, but oh, man. after seeing Black Mesa, this looks so weird.
on that bridge.
Oh, right, and the bull squids only shoot one little thing. Here's the office complex.
Head crabs that wander blindly into certain death.
Office complex was just a ton more empty hallways, except the walls were textured to look like an office, which works. Oh my god, right, and the scientists, the freaking scientists, they greet you as they're running away from danger. Why were they allowed to do that? It's so weird. I really like the whole, you know, lack of cutscenes, and, you know, the lack of cutscenes, everything happens to you, but because of weird bugs like this, I cannot say that Half-Life has aged well, and even in that regard, even though it's one of the few games that does something like that. It's because, like, the scientists do shit like that. It was the first of its kind, so I can give it some slack for that, but still.
You know,
Oh, this weapon
people
switch
love to
sounds
say
so
that
weird.
This is a timeless game that hasn't aged at all. No.
What the fuck? I'm the exact same person, apparently. I keep saying the exact same things as I was about to say in the past. I mean, my opinion on the game hasn't changed much, apparently.
You're thinking of Half-Life 2. This game...
Okay, I might disagree with myself a little bit there. There are some ways in which Half-Life 2 has aged. A few. I still think Half-Life 2 is a great game, even nowadays, but it has aged a little bit.
The game has aged. In some
Not as
parts,
much
other
as this
parts,
first game,
it's
though.
pretty timeless.
I remember when I was walking up to this guy, I just had to assume that he was playing his dialogue, because again, I couldn't hear it, so I was like, I think he's played his dialogue.
Yeah, that'll happen. That will definitely happen.
And the only reason I'm reacting to it is because I already know what their dialogue is.
Anyway, this thing is now...
I think I just stepped on a roach. That's one kind of cool thing about the game is the roaches. But they put so much effort into the roach AI when they could have spent that making the latter half of the game good.
Here, actually.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
this room is so different.
Wait, no, there's another path right
Oh yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
It's unbreakable.
Shutting that... Oh. Okay.
He turned off the light. What the hell?
Something tells me I don't want to go into that vent. But I can't really think what it is.
That's pretty much something I would say now.
Alright, so...
Oh,
if
the
you
original
guys feel like I killed
Vortigaunt
in 5
sounds.
seconds,
Part of me
before-
does miss the original Vortigaunt sounds instead of the low, grisly "Chur-long-gung" that they have in Half-Life 2 and Black Mesa, but I do like that "Chur-long-gung, Gallinger." But their original, like, high-pitched was pretty funny. Also, their
Guys,
death noise.
They charge up attacks that, like, snipe you from all ranges, and unless you're behind cover, you can't avoid it. So they're kind of like the Archviles in Doom 2.
I remember comparing them to Doom enemies. Around this time, I was kind of getting into the classic Doom games, and I was going to try to play them, and then I eventually forgot completely about them, so I still haven't done it.
All imps and bolt squids.
I like that guy hiding there. I can't remember if he's reused in Black Mesa.
easy to kill.
Yeah, look at how much weirder this part is. It's like a weird maze of hallways. I definitely prefer the cubicle style, like big square office room with a similar layout, but it makes a little more sense that they did in Black Mesa. But of course, this is me just saying, I like this 2020 game better than this 1998 game for obvious freaking reasons, because our technology has improved so much, so I should stop being unfair.
Face.
But hey, it's a fact.
I haven't tried any of the harder difficulties, but I don't think I want to. Anyway, oh god.
Another problem with this is that the sound mixing wasn't great, because, like, when I listened to it without headphones, they sounded fine, but when you listen to it with headphones, the game sounds actually kind of drown out my voice sometimes. Because I also didn't talk very loudly, very consistently, unlike how I am now. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I had the HD models on because I think they look better, but the one weird thing about the HD models is that they replace some of the guns, so you have like a whole big assault rifle. I'm not used to that.
Assault rifle?
Oh.
It's basically just an automatic rifle.
And the sound that it made is so weird and so grating. The sound the MP5 made in the original models, though, was also got pretty grating over time, so... Scientists are supposed to...
They're out to kill us.
Okay, now they said something that's weird. Alright, here's
so
the
these
first
guys are
look
the
at what is
soldiers
basically my least favorite enemy in the original.
Because no FPS can resist having other
And
people with guns
I'm
shooting
showing this
back
off because I think these first arenas are the only times where they're like 100%
explain
fun
more
to
about
fight.
them.
These arenas are very well designed with them, but later on the arenas and the level design becomes very bad, and it emphasizes all their worst aspects, like the instant kill grenades. Oh god. I just reacted to that. I didn't kill either of them. Oh yeah, and the old version of this outdoor battle, I hated this. Because, like, if you stand outside, you just blow up for no reason.
Yeah, we're not gonna escape, are we? Alright, first view of out.
We're not gonna escape, Harvey. Yeah, alright. I like how I went from sounding very bored to, alright, now we got some enemies!
This battle is some bullshit. Let me just say.
Even back then.
Avoid the grenades at all costs, they do tons of damage. But yeah.
I guess everyone else who played Half-Life has a much greater tolerance for frequent deaths than I did. And I do, because, like, if I die over and over and over again on, like, the same exact point, and it doesn't feel like my fault, I get really frustrated with that. I understand if other people don't, but that's something that's really frustrating to me, and that's why I really hated playing this game the first time, because the whole game was pretty much just dying repeatedly on, like, every single freaking enemy. And none of it really felt like my own skill screwing me over. My own lack of skill. Oh, that was a grenade.
No way to tell where the mortars are going to drop.
Frick.
You can't see them as they
I actually
fall.
noticed the grenade this time, but I didn't notice it back then. Once you enter the bunker, you have this weird part where you have to crawl through so many vents, and I got killed.
At the beginning of this level.
Alright, I'm going to skip on to a later version. Why don't I look at episode 4? Back then I called them parts, where I went through surface tension, which I remember as being my absolute least favorite level in the game. Video? Load? For some reason I have trouble with this, like my own videos, whenever I watch one of my own videos, it takes a lot longer to load. It's like there's something weird YouTube does when you choose to watch your own videos that makes it hard to watch. Yeah, and they also buffer a lot more frequently too. I don't understand.
Hey everybody, and
There we
welcome
go.
back to Half
This was also before I had the video fade-ins that I do now, and fade-outs. I started doing that in the middle of my Terraria playthrough.
Yeah, I really hope the glitch doesn't happen again. That was really frustrating.
Oh yeah, I had some weird glitch before I started recording this video. It was nothing major though. This map is so weird. It's not that frustrating, it's just weird.
I missed him because freaking mouse, the choppy turning is really weird.
Oh, excuses, excuses. That was your fault.
Take it down using the Tau cannon charged up.
A much less exciting battle than the Black Mesa version.
Using a cannon, you can't actually see the projectile that the cannon is firing.
I love it when Half-Life does that, when it doesn't show the missile that's firing. I don't know why. Half-Life was always so inconsistent with missiles. It either didn't show up, or it was there, and it was a physical projectile. Or it was hit scan. Or it was like this, where it was hit scan, but it took a while to land. I don't know. I don't understand.
There is another helicopter. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
on this map, the helicopter, like, chases you into this map instead. Can my video work? The helicopter, like, continues to chase you into it, unlike in Black Mesa, where it just shows up flying overhead briefly. But yeah, this map's open-ended features were kind of cool, at least. That's something good I could say about this level. I absolutely hate the latter half of Surface Tension, though. It sucks.
shoot it down just like before. It went.
Whoa, the
through
knockback.
skybox, but
Forgot about the knockback on that. Alright, let me skip.
the mines are once again placed in an orderly fashion. Got one right there. One right there. One right
Did I
there.
just
Placed in
skip
an orderly
ahead?
Fashion. Got one right there. One right there. One right there.
What just happened?
Okay, so here we've got another minefield section.
The video just skipped ahead. Wait, is that a part of the real video, or is YouTube bugging out?
Once again, just stand here. You can
Oh, these fucking snipers. I hate these fucking snipers.
It almost always takes me a few grenades to kill these guys, but there, the first grenade did it.
The first grenade killed him? Wow, I couldn't see because the video was being weird.
They're terrible, I swear. When you don't know how to fight them...
I forgot, like, I supposedly had a much easier time killing them even though I complained about them.
No matter.
You're headed to the Lambda complex. I myself until
I forgot about that. Okay, all of this I think is pretty good, but here is the absolute worst design choice I think I've ever seen upcoming. Most baffling design choice I've ever seen. This tank has hit scan missiles.
Using explosive shots, though. I was thinking, like, oh, it may be excusable because it's using a gun. No, it's using explosive shots. You can see that.
Yeah. I do not
You can see the
understand.
shots exploding.
Like, hang on.
So
Really?
why is it hit scan? Someone riddle me that. Why does it use hit scan?
Let me run it back to when it first shows up.
I gotta go. So
This whole map is really freaking weird. Video, come on. It's not that hard. Jesus.
and then eventually, like, the military will arrive, killing all the aliens, and then this tank and those two can trap you over there forever.
Oh yeah, I got trapped on the other end of the map because I literally could not run across the map before the hit scan missile tank would kill me. I don't know if I had rockets to kill it. I don't remember if I did, because that was a long time ago. That was before I even did this playthrough. That was like almost a whole year before I did this playthrough.
And that is
When I played
because
this game the first time.
of the... Oh god, it's hitting me. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay, this is not okay. This is not family friendly. What am I saying? Okay, this is because... You know what? Why don't I just... Why don't you just... Dang it.
I have moments like that where the health is just reduced so much that you can't survive. So I'm just like, just fucking end it. Just kill me. I think I had a couple of moments like this throughout this this abandoned building you have to parkour through as well. You have to platform through, rather. This level's just frustrating. I really do not like this level. Surface tension. Like, let me rewatch the part where you have to rush through the Vortigons, and then you don't get any health, despite the fact that you seemingly have to tank through them, and that's part of the game design.
Oh god, now we have another bad map. Alright, so this map starts off terribly. Right away, we've got an incoming, like, barrage of Vortigons. All of which have pretty powerful attacks.
All of which buffer the video.
Their charge attack will do 20 damage.
They've given a
to you.
ton of medkits. They know what they were doing designing
You
this map.
somehow gotta kill them and find... Sorry, what? Find a way
Did that just
to
do-
get through them and find...
That just did 40 damage? They do
Find
that
a
much
way
damage
to
on
get
easy?
through them safely.
Jesus! And you barely get any suit energy. That on easy, this is easy difficulty. You know, where the game's supposed to be
They never
easy.
stop coming, so I just have to brute force it and hope I don't die, which I didn't, thankfully, there.
Okay, that time I got off lucky. That time, like, the two Vortigons there decided to ignore me for some reason, but there are other times where they are relentless and they just keep attacking you, and you're left with like 20 health, and then you have to go through 2 more rooms of enemies before you can actually heal. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid, and I will die on this hill that this freaking map is terrible. It is so badly designed, I cannot express it. Moving on. Oh yeah, welcome to the most thrilling scene.
Oh yeah, by the way, here's another hit scan rocket launcher, which can be used to kill alien grunts as they come
Just have
in
to
view,
click when they show up.
which is very riveting gameplay. Very exciting. But if you aim it too low, the explosion will be closer to you, and it can kill you. And yes, I did die like that once on my first playthrough.
You know, looking at that thing, I'm officially going to class that death as my fault that happened on my first playthrough. It came after like a series of 80,000 deaths earlier in this level, so it was extremely frustrating when it happened. I was like, what the fuck? Or actually, I remember I was playing this in a room with other people, so I had to keep all the rage internal, but believe me, it was there. And if I were in a private space, I'd be screaming. But yes, I remember it being so frustrating, but that thing does not have a blast shield on it. I thought it did. It does not. Okay, you get the point. This level sucks. Oh, here's this weird nuking machine. Forget about Freeman. Oh, man. This is one of my favorite levels in Black Mesa, one of my absolute least favorite in Half-Life. Lambda Core is actually pretty good in Half-Life. I'll give it that. Then, I'm going to end this video, I'm going to click on the finale, which I just called Zen. That's very boring. Let's see what the hell Zen looks like. Oh my god. I gave the Nylon papyrus font for his subtitles. It's funny that this is your first view of Zen, because I think this is the least interesting looking part of Zen as a whole in this whole game.
In my opinion, this is the worst part of Half-Life.
Maybe not like the worst, but definitely the worst made. Actually, you know, like, I think overall, objectively, it is the worst part of the game, but maybe in my personal self would say surface tension.
Now, it makes perfect sense as like a climactic final level
It does.
for this game to take place in like an alternate dimension. I really like that.
It's just really poorly made,
After all, I'm a
really
huge
poorly
fan of
executed.
Nether in Minecraft, and that also is
The Vortigaunt didn't die properly.
yeah, our enemies are gonna appear. A Vortigaunt, Hound Eye,
I'll give you this.
nothing else.
Vortigaunt's
Yeah,
attacking you
so
straight away, even though they're supposed to be passive. That's another reason why that story moment was not as well executed. The level called Zen in Black Mesa, which is my favorite level in the entire Half-Life series, by the way, took me one entire 1.5, like 1 hour, 20-minute long video to get through. And look at this! 5 minutes! Less than 5 minutes! Not even close to 5 minutes! 4 minutes! That's it! It feels like they wanted to do something much more with this. They obviously did, but just didn't get around to it. And look, the whole video is 49 minutes. Oh yeah, and look at just throw away nostalgia. Just throw away like any amount of cool factor the game may have had back in the day. Just look at this as it is now. Look at the way this is executed as it is now.
Into what is essentially a boss fight.
Because
got to pet crabs right here.
as fun as the Gonarch fight is, even in this original game, the way that it's introduced feels like a joke. It feels like a joke mod. This, if you showed me footage of this, I would assume that it was from some joke mod. I would have never guessed that it was a part of the base game.
There's no puzzles.
Oh my god. Oh, right. And there was some really annoying bug, because the checkpoint, the autosave placement in this game is horrid. They introduced an autosave system, but they don't ever use it, and they forgot to put an autosave at the start of Interloper here. So I died here forgetting to save, because why would I think to save if I think the game's gonna take care of it for me? If the game has an autosave system, why doesn't it use it more? I did not save here, and when you respawn back in Gonarch's lair, the fight is unwinnable. Its health is broken, you can't kill it, and so you have to use cheats to get around it. That may be a bug on the Steam version of the game.
This is the worst map in the entire game.
That may be like a bug with the Steam version. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Also, I sound very calm about saying how this is the absolute worst fucking bullshit in any game ever. But, and hey, maybe that's better in some people's eyes. Maybe you don't want to hear someone yelling out of their screen about it. Oh god, the controllers. Oh god, the controllers. I'm pretty sure there is actually an intended route you're supposed to take. Like, you're supposed to go down to this cave area, and there's some extra passage that I kept missing. However, I would just end up long jumping over to one of the manta rays and getting across.
You're supposed to land on it, but you know.
I thought you had to use these as launch pads, and you can, but you're not supposed to, I don't think, because you take fall damage when you get hit by them, and they hurt you too. So, let's see. How do I introduce the Zen mines?
Okay, this room. It is good to know that these Vortigaunts do not attack you, unless you attack them. So. That's because if you attack them, then not only will all of them be after you, but some controllers will spawn. Anyway, welcome to the Zen.
Any unsuspecting player would have probably just shot them in the face, thinking that they were enemies, because they've been enemies the whole game. Okay, then there's Interloper, aka Controller Killing Simulator. I've got nothing really special to say about Interloper. I think it's the best designed part of Zen, the Factory, the Zen Mines. I think it's the best designed part of Zen by far, but it's not as good as the rest of the game. It's just really boring. Oh, remember this. The old Nylonth portal. The Nylonth portal is one of the best things in Black Mesa, in my opinion. So I just want to go back and see the original Nylonth portal. Right as soon as YouTube decides to load.
Because it is very menacing and important.
That's because it is very menacing and important. I do say a lot of the same things now. Smack the quick save button. Because the game does not autosave here, even though this would be a perfect spot for an autosave. Nope, you think they would include it? You think they would use their autosave system? You die here, you fall off the edge, you have to climb up that final room all over again in the Zen Mines. So stupid. I could pick this game apart all day for fun, but I know it would just piss everybody off, so I will stop.
These platforms. And we eventually got fucking...
That was fall damage? Another thing is this game's stupid fall damage. There's a reason I joked about it in Resident Evil Village.
Choppy looking portal. That's
Also, you're supposed to hear voices here, I think, but I've never heard any.
It's running at a lower frame rate because I'm recording.
Maybe I just haven't hung out next to it long enough? I don't know.
The Black Void? I do too. Let's hop in.
And I really like this boss intro as well. Just like, hello, I'm here.
Introducing the final boss of Half-Life. This is the Nihilon.
He sucks. Moving on. Okay, so I don't remember how the end of the fight played out. Let's see. Every time I fight this guy, it's either I kill him in 2 seconds or I don't. And he absorbs all my ammo.
Spire.
Or he just dies for no fucking reason. He's so weird. He's the worst boss. Like, I'd say out of all the games I've fought, this guy is probably the worst boss I have ever fought in a game, and I'm not even kidding, because his mechanics are so janky and... Okay, maybe not crap, as in, like, the worst version of crap, but they're crap. Crap is a lesser version of the S word, which I'm gonna actually avoid saying in videos now, because I want to be recommended. But yeah, it's crap. This boss is crap.
So I'm gonna take...
His design is cool, and the idea of his attacks are cool. And it would have been a cool fight if it weren't for all his crappy game mechanics.
Fall down, fall down, fall down, fall down, fall down.
Yeah, like I had to...
Okay.
I think there was actually more ammo, like, at the top ledge, and I keep forgetting that there is. Like, there's more ammo up there, and I always forget about it. Yeah, okay.
Yes, there we go.
I just killed him in one rocket effortlessly. But that hasn't always happened. Sometimes he's just taken all my rockets to the face and not died. I do not understand this guy. I do understand the Black Mesa version, because that's actually a competently made boss fight, unlike this one. I love his death animation, though. His death animation's great. Because it's nice, sweet relief that the game's finally over. Alright, what do I have to say at the end?
And that was the game. We got hired. And because this game just has to put one more old game jank thing in there, the credits are just the text on screen.
The credits.
They don't even last the whole time.
I can forgive it. I can forgive the credits 100%. Because, like, even, like, the classic Doom games just had all the id Software staff on one screen. That was it. But, like...
Anyway, that was Half-Life.
The credits are shorter than the music that's playing. Usually it's the opposite problem, where the music is too short for the credits.
A game... Like, I'm not sure whether to like or dislike, honestly.
And I'm still not sure whether to like or dislike it. I think I go into a little more depth on, like, comparing it to Half-Life 2. I don't know if I agree with that much anymore. But, yeah, either way, that was a pretty fun rewatch of my second ever commentated playthrough. And, yeah. So overall, my speech patterns have basically remained the same as these videos have gone on. It's mostly my tone that's changed from sounding very bored, as most YouTubers do, to a little more enthusiastic, a little more excited about the games that I was playing. And most of that just turned into me reacting to Half-Life. I should probably replay this game again, because I have not played it in a long time, because as soon as I played Black Mesa, I had it set into my head that I was never going back. But I probably should play it again. Well, maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe. Anyway, this is pretty fun. I don't expect this video to get any attention because, I mean, it's a reaction video, so. But yes, this was certainly a fun revisit to my older videos. Man, I have not, like, I could scroll through my full list of videos in less than 5 seconds. I really haven't done this that much at all, but it feels like I've done a lot of stuff. The majority of it is Terraria. But yeah, just a nice revisit to the past, see how far I've come since then. I do plan on perhaps doing another one of these, except I react to the Sonic 3 playthrough, and I even plan on playing Sonic 3 again, but with my modern self to see how much different it is. Well, I've got nothing else to say, so I thank you all for watching this video, if you did watch, and as always, I will see you all in the future.